Hello everybody, and a much belated hello everybody, basically. I'm sorry for the last, 2 or 3 weeks now that I haven't uploaded anything. A few things. Firstly, the phone that I record everything on has died, and I had to get a new one, which took a while to arrive, and I had to drive all the way home to get it. Also, that'll explain this now. The video quality on it is really good on the new phone, but the audio is pretty appalling, to be honest. But yeah, so it'll be headphones now until I get, I don't know, a mic or something maybe. But speaking of new things to help the channel get a bit better and feel a bit more productive, is this. And thirdly, I guess the most pressing reason for why it's taken me so long to come back to this is that all along I've said this is more of a side project, and that really did come into effect the last 2 weeks of the term, which is now finished. I had 2 assignments due. I had an essay and a video presentation, and they were the 2 chunkiest bits of work I've ever had to do. As I've said before, I didn't pay much attention to A-levels, so coming to uni has been a colossal step up in terms of academic study. So it was a 3,000 word essay on abiotic factors that affect the dispersal of species, and a video presentation on globalization and how it affects the town that I'm studying in. Both pretty wordy, not that it has much meaning to you necessarily, but yeah, I'll talk about those a little bit, but that's really why they took up a lot of time, and I didn't have much spare time to film anything. It was just wholeheartedly sort of blinkered concentration on that. So apologies again for this being a bit of a long wait, if you do keep up with it sort of weekly or bi-weekly that it is. But yeah, it will hopefully be more consistent from here on out. So with regards to the workload, obviously that's what I've been saying about is why I've not kept on top of this as well as I could have. It is noticeable. It's manageable, but it's definitely one of those things that you have to keep on top of. You can't sort of afford to, let other things get in the way. Not thankfully, but there's a lockdown, so you can't go out drinking, socialising as much. It's harder to go home, visit your friends and family. So with regards to that, it's been good to sort of stay in. You've got nothing else to do other than focus on this. And it's meant that I feel like I've produced really good qualities of work. Starting with the first thing I handed in was the video presentation on globalisation. That was a group project, and I'm really grateful that I had the group I did. We're all fast trackers bar one of us, which basically means we do the 3-year uni course within 2 years. And yeah, they smashed it. Hopefully insert a clip here. If I can't, that's going to look really awkward.
Steger defines globalisation as an uneven intensification of social relations and consciousness across the world.
So you've either just seen or haven't seen a small clip of the video we put together. Yeah, it's a long process because you've got to get the filming, obviously sticking within the current, hopefully for not much longer, COVID restrictions. It was a little bit hard to sort of liaise and sort out here and when and what we should do, what we can do with regards to filming and getting together and talking about the project. But other than that, the group project itself was pretty cool. The idea of it is more sort of human geography, whereas I'm doing more of the physical side of it. I want to do more of the physical side of it. And yeah, no, it was a great experience. It meant that I had a constant train of communication with other students, which was really useful and insightful, and I got to see how other people work and how they dealt with the pressures of having to do studying, basically. And that side of it was insightful. You get to learn how other people go about their business, basically. I know that one of the people studies pretty much until 7 o'clock at night, in which case they have a beer and relax. Me, I tend to finish a bit earlier than that, which I'll get into because the essay is the one that really was a bit of a grind. Whereas this video presentation, because it was a group thing, and we all trusted each other to do the workload, we could easily split it up into sort of 25% each. And that worked in our favour because we were done pretty much with like a week to go. So it was way less stress than I know other groups experienced. And it gave us more time to fine tune different bits and bobs, which meant that the actual thing we put together looked really polished, and I'm genuinely really pleased with it. So hopefully I was able to find a little clip to show you, just so you kind of get what I'm after. But it harks back to what I've been talking about a lot of this time, is to stay open-minded, stay friendly to people, and, you know, just talk, and everyone's there to study and have a good time, hopefully. So just sort of to keep to that rhetoric and, you know, be open-minded, talk to people. Yeah, so the essay I loved doing, researching it, finding out so much new information, just learning everything I could to do with the subject. It was so interesting. It talked about so many different things that I'm not even going to attempt to get into now, but I broke it down into 3 sections. I started off with the intro just to get a few things down. I didn't finish the intro, just to get like the odd 100 words in. Because a lot of people said starting the essay is the hardest thing, and personally I haven't found that yet. It's been knowing where to stop each paragraph for me, but basically I haven't struggled to start because I've just started typing rubbish down. Well, not necessarily rubbish, but usually it's rubbish. Just get it down, get like 100 odd words down. You've done the start then, and then go into the research, do the bulk of the reading. You're probably going to have to go to the uni and get books at any and all times, like this. Just to make sure you make the most of the day. That clip was, I went to the uni at like 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning to go and get the books so that I could have from like 9 till 5, reading, typing, this, that and the other. It wasn't necessarily like squeaky bum time to get it done to the deadline. I had done it a day or two before the deadline. I just wanted to make sure I had that day or two sort of buffer to make sure if there was any problems with uploading it, if there was any problems that I don't know, deleted the whole thing with editing, I still had a little bit of time. And it's meant now that I could relax a little bit earlier than everyone else. I've just had like a few days break between the end of term and today recording this, and that's been great, just to relax a little bit and gear myself up for semester 2, which starts in the middle of January. And I suppose that leads nicely into what I would say my review of the last couple of weeks was, considering there was deadlines and still lectures to do, and the lecturers sort of making you get prepped for work to do over the Christmas period, because it is a nice chunky break you get 2, 3, maybe 4 weeks off. Oh, I know I do. And it's a big void which you still have to be doing work in, and that I think was the key point over the sort of the 2-week period where I had all the hand-ins. Time management is so important. Getting your act together basically, and making sure you're organised and arranged. You know when the hand-ins are, you know roughly what sort of work you can do per day, even per week, and go from there really. If you know you're going to be slow at doing the essay, then you're going to want to start it with 2 or 3 weeks. If you know it's going to be a struggle getting the videos for your presentations and this, that and the other, you want to give it as much time, because it was me and one other from our group that done all the filming, and we had to sacrifice 2 or 3 whole days to get the footage, and it was only a 5-minute long video. And like the footage we got accumulated to about 3 minutes of the video presentation. So time management is crucial, because you don't realise how long things take. Like I say, getting the books, I had to go to the uni 3 or 4 times, and that's like a half an hour walk there and back, and that's a lot of time. That's an hour and a half out of a day to be studying. I'll do probably a semester 1 overview, like sort of breakdown if you like, maybe the end of this week, maybe the start of next week, and just talk about the semester as a whole and what I've learned. Whereas now I'm thinking more directly about semester 2, the connotations of COVID, how that's going to affect it, how everything's going to step up from here. Because semester 1, it's not a freebie by any means, you've still got to work. Like the 2 things I was saying about submitting, the video presentation was 25% of that module, and this essay was 50% of the module, and they're year-long modules. So they're big chunks of like information, big chunks of the percentage towards your degree, or like your year's sort of impact on the rest of your degree, so that everything's important. Might not be the case for you. I know a lot of courses don't like really have any input into your degree as a whole. But for this, I know for me, the better I do now, the more confidence I'm going to feel going into semester 2, 3, and then the second year. But speaking of semester 2, there is a lot of deadlines to hit. Like I say, because I'm doing the fast track, we cram in year 1 and 2 into our first year of uni. So I think in March I've got like 4 hand-ins. So it's going to be pretty savage around that time. And I don't know how much I'll get around to doing this, but with the tripod, it's less faff trying to do the dodgy setup where I balance it on a suction cup on a plate on a few books. But like I say, I'll do a semester overall recap if hopefully everyone would find that useful. I think I would, to look back on. And I found all of these videos useful to look back on, particularly the ones where I've had like other people's input. Because there is some useful stuff in there, and that's the point of doing this, is so that people don't go into this blind, or they have some kind of sort of, I don't know, information to look back on, and to the knowledge that other people are finding it weird to adjust to, definitely. But yeah, so good to touch base again. I'm glad I'm going to get back into the rhythm of doing this. The tripod's definitely going to help. The new phone is hopefully going to help as well. But yeah, thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.